It's that time of evening. It's that time of evening when I play a mellow game about farming. And I play it in a special way. A special way where I speak into a microphone while I do it. Why? Because we live in a bizarre future time where such things happen. I am setting up my state of the art gaming area, which involves me pulling up my channel on my cell phone so that I can see any chat that happens. While I am farming my heart out. How very strange. What a very strange thing I'm doing. What a very strange thing we're doing, if you're here with me. Although, the truth is, I watch a lot of streams. And they help me relax. They help me get to sleep. They're good company. So, I'm hoping I can be good company for somebody out there. Loading, loading, loading. I did a live chat a little earlier today. That was fun. Got some good questions from folks. Did a little bit of poetry reading. But now it's time to tend to these tender parsnips. I really love the early sort of income loop in this game. Late in this game, you know, you get so very rich that money doesn't really matter quite as much. But here in this early stage, you really got to fight for every parsnip. And that lends kind of a cool weight of accomplishment to everything you do. All right, I have 174 pieces of wood. In order to build the bridge down on the beach that will give me access to more valuable shells, speaking of money, I need 300. So, with my meager new farmer levels of energy, the question is, can I get to 300 before my noodle arms give out on me? The answer is no, but I'm going to try. Because I have that Stardew Valley spirit. I occasionally listen to a video games podcast called The Besties. Good podcast. But one of the guys on there who likes Stardew Valley, as far as I can tell, did refer to it as Chores the video game, which I don't think is exactly right. For one thing, you don't have to do any of this in Stardew Valley. Oh boy. Okay, well. Oh, wow. Oh, how embarrassing. I've really messed up now. Oh no. Look at tired pixel crypto. How will I recover from this? Oh, but look at that. I'm so close. You know, this is Stardew Valley. I'm not racing against any clock here. I'm a very tired boy, but it's only 11 a.m. I think I'm going to take a sluggish, sleepy stroll into Pelican Town. See if I can't get something to revive me. Perhaps at the saloon. And then, come on, I need 6 pieces of wood. Now, it is pretty decadent, I think, at this stage of the game to purchase things to renew my energy level, but so what? Gus, where are you? I'm so tired. Heal me with a breadstick. Gus, stop moving. Yes, I will gnaw on this bread. You know, I don't know how much energy I get back from the bread, so eat the bread. Good question, video game. Yes, I shall eat the bread. Okay, well that was pretty cheap, really. I'm going to leave that flower. I'm going to leave it because I have a deep-rooted optimism that I'm going to be in valuable Shell Town here very soon. You know, I could have avoided running out of energy if I had chopped down trees more strategically to give me the materials to make those field snacks by sort of balancing the maple, oak, and pine. But hey, we got there. It wasn't pretty, but we got there. Imperfection is not my enemy. Inaction is my enemy. Think about it. Wow, I feel so fast now. I feel so fleet of foot. Well, it's me, the guy who's been here for 4 days. Don't know why none of you could fix this. But here I am. To do what must be done. Oh. Valuable coral. Valuable sea urchins. You know, I have never in real life been to any tidal pools like this, and yet I'm so interested in them that I sometimes have dreams about them. I just love the idea of shallow tidal pools where I can see sea creatures that have gotten sort of trapped for a tide cycle in sort of nature's aquarium. Ugh. I really love to just sort of imagine laying on my stomach in the warm sand, kind of getting my face right down to the edge of the water of those tidal pools. If I lived anywhere near a body of water, I would absolutely have to get myself a camera that could shoot underwater. It's interesting. I have been sort of hiking and sticking my nose under rocks and poking around rotten logs and stuff for my entire life. I live in central Ohio. And even still, I don't really feel like an expert on the nature that is near me. So it really blows my mind to think of moving to an entirely new area and starting afresh. No, I'm not going to get you 20 copper ores. We're not at that part of the game yet, buddy. Alright, just attacked the calendar. Good. One of these days, I think I will feel more at home. Go into options. Oh, thank you. Rules for the chat. Well, you know, I'm pretty new to this. I haven't really come up with rules for the chat yet. Zoom level. Oh, that is better. Thank you. Ugh. Thank you so much. That's better. Yeah, I'm new to Twitch. I saw a whole bunch of rule options for my chat, but I don't really have a strong opinion on it yet. If you have best practice suggestions for me, I would certainly appreciate it if you would lay them out. Please among yourself as much as possible. No all caps, no spam. Yeah. Yeah, that all sounds good. I'm sort of trying to create a general relaxing kind of atmosphere here. I have a new computer on the way, and I really hope to do sort of a 2-monitor thing to make this a little easier. You should see my setup right now. I'm on a very old laptop, and then I have my phone propped up against a stack of books. Given my audience, no swearing may also be applicable. Yeah. It asked, you know, there was a checkbox for if I was doing mature content, and I thought, nah. I mean, I do love swearing, as I love all words, but I don't really feel like limiting my audience. Oh, show where tools strike. Cool. Yeah, I'll look at that. See, I'm so used to playing this on the Switch. Day 5. Ooh, a rainy day. A rainy day feels like such a gift in the early game. Look at that. Look at that leafy gold. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, this means the mine is open, doesn't it? I do love the mine. Okay, what were you saying? Options. Where the tool will strike. Always show tool hit location. Yeah, see, you know, since I don't have a mouse playing, look at that. Yeah, that is helpful. Since I don't have a mouse while playing on the Switch, it kind of was like, I don't know, a non-issue. Come here, parsnips. Let me love you. I'm so much faster on the Switch. That's okay. It's Stardew Valley. I'm not speed running this. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I have pretty good internet connectivity here, so I think that's a factor. Yeah, I had a fairly beefy gaming laptop that really died recently. So I've been sort of making do with the laptop I got to essentially just run my word processor. What am I doing? I need to go sell these and start a new crop. Oh, the plot and cost. I don't know the cost, frankly. It's on every console and PC imaginable. It's easy to run. It's been out for quite a while, so I have to imagine that the cost is low. But this is a game sort of in the genre of, oh, what was it? The Harvest Moon games. All right, it's not 9. So, okay, got it. $20. It's a very beloved game by a lot of people, and essentially, it's you're a cubicle worker at a like a call center, but you have this letter from your grandfather that essentially says, and he says, when modern life becomes too much, open this. And it is the deed to his old farm on Stardew Valley. And you move to this little village, and you have this sort of wrecked farm that hasn't been used in 20 years, and you slowly turn it into a functioning farm. And you know, the premise is that modern life is sort of very rough on you, modern life and capitalism and the grind, and you need to get back to nature and start doing things kind of simply and intentionally. It is. What do I want to do here? Let's do cauliflower this time. How many cauliflowers can I get? I mean, the premise is that it's just sort of wholesome and healing, this sort of working the land and knowing what you're doing and why you're doing it. Thank you, Pierre. And you develop relationships with everybody in town, and everybody has their own story, and you have a friendship level with everybody. Eventually, you can choose villagers to romance, and you know you unlock little cutscenes with them that deepen your understanding of them and your relationship. And it's just kind of a relaxing game. You can aim to go sort of fast and be as efficient as possible, um, you know, etc. But you sure don't have to. You can kind of play it the way I'm sort of playing it at the moment, which is, you can kind of wander and go at your own pace. There's a lot of different things to explore. Yes, you can focus on farming, but there's also a mine where you fight monsters and get ore that you smelt into bars and you can use to upgrade your tools. And, what's nice about it is you do simple things, and yet the game sort of gives you this feeling of constant progress. And meanwhile, there's a creative element because you're figuring out what you want to use your farm for. You have all this land. Do you want to be a rancher? Do you want to raise chickens? Do you want to focus on crops? Do you want to focus on fruit and then make wine from that fruit? There's just so many things you can do. Oh, I don't have... Okay. I forgot. I just sold the crops. See, when I can level up my farming, I'm going to do a different pattern because I can. Huh. There's a number of people writing online about how to sort of do guerrilla gardening like that, planting native species. And yeah, it's interesting because like things like that, it seems like can be technically frowned upon by the municipality, but also it seems like in a lot of cases no one is enforcing these things. What do I got here? 1, 2, 3. Part of me wants to look at the controls and stop using the mouse entirely because, I don't know, the mouse feels like a clumsy way to control. Do I garden? Yes, I do. I would say I garden in a very amateurish way. But I love to grow things. I recently moved to a house next to a cemetery. And I love trees and sort of fruiting shrubs. I planted a bunch of blackberries and raspberries that are doing really well. I actually just bought a greenhouse that I have to assemble. Seems very complicated, but I'm looking forward to getting it up so I can grow things in the winter. I've been very simple about my gardening lately. I like to grow, I occasionally do potatoes and pumpkins and squash to make soup. I really want to do garlic this year. There are a number of fairly foolproof crops that still make you feel sort of special. I think I may do tomatoes this year. What's been holding me back is that I don't particularly like tomatoes, but you can do a lot with tomatoes. Like, I rarely will just eat a tomato, but I love tomato soup, and I love tomato sauce. Climate, precipitation, and soil quality. Well, I'm in central Ohio. Oh, you're talking to... Okay, gotcha. Talk amongst yourselves. Well, we can both answer. I live in central Ohio, and I mean, the soil quality is sort of amazing where I live at the moment. Somebody here before me was a gardener and enriched the soil a bunch. I have a whole bunch of good topsoil. We have pretty brutal winters. I forget which zone I'm in terms of gardening. I want to say 5. But that allows, I mean, that gives me quite a few options. Why? Do you have a suggestion for me? I actually have quite a bit of room now for gardening. The only thing that limits me is how much garden I want to maintain. And I spend a bunch of my day watching a toddler, so I'm kind of limited to pretty foolproof stuff at the moment. Yeah, you know, I did some sunflowers last year. They do produce quite a bit of shade, don't they? I'm just doing general cleanup on the farm. Early in the game, it sort of bothers me how... it doesn't bother me, but I like to kind of constantly be tidying. As I think I said, I think this is meant to be kind of a relaxing game, so I don't really stress too much about trying to do this as efficiently as possible. Not really interested in that. Wow, who? That's awesome. You also live in Central Ohio? Do I know you? Oh, I missed the secret cellar lady. Darn. Oh, okay. I know you. We met at a murder mystery. All right. I think it is sleepy time for this day. Yeah, I know who is because only one person has ever complimented me on my questionable morels shirt. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, hopefully we can meet in person once again. Once, people can meet in person again. Cauliflower. Oh, yeah, I would be very interested in that, especially native flowers. I keep meaning to do more native flower planting, and honestly, I just haven't put in the research. It's been quite a year and a half for me. Had our first child in October of 2019. So we were very much in newborn mode for a while. And as soon as we were getting our feet under us, there was I don't know if you've heard about this, there was a global pandemic. So I have done, thank you. So I've led a very strange and secluded lifestyle lately. Which actually may be one reason I was interested in Twitch. Because I do a lot of creating stuff, but I don't do a lot of creating stuff that involves real-time interaction with other people. So, yeah, I'm glad you guys are hanging out tonight. Well, I know this scarecrow isn't necessary here, but I need to put it someplace, so... Something about Stardew Valley music just like lowers my blood pressure. Well, you both garden. What would you do if you had a piece of property the size of Stardew Valley? I often think about that, and it's kind of an overwhelming question. What do you think your priorities would be? Thanks. Glad you like the podcast. It's a weird podcast. Yeah, I've loved audio storytelling forever, since I was a little kid and would get cassette tape audiobooks from the library, so as somebody who likes to tell stories, it was kind of a matter of time before I would do podcasting. And then the Crypto Naturalist is just, it's the kind of thing I'm interested in writing. And that's how I started doing the Crypto Naturalist. A question nobody asked. All right, pretend that you had you can sell whatever you want box from Stardew Valley. If you could assume a market for whatever it was you would want to do, then what would you do? Assume you had that magical, you can sell anything you want box, where a mysterious, possibly immortal mare picks it up every night. So now it's not a question of economics. Yeah, I hear you. Kind of hard to think about anything but debt for quite a while. I'm sort of just getting out of college debt mode, and I still kind of can't help but think about such things. Cool, that's a neat idea. Yeah, folks definitely need an alternative to the Monsantos of the world. What are you focusing on in college, Axel? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, nice. Plant biology, very cool. I was a zoology major for quite a while, up through organic chemistry and such, but I've always been a word nerd, so I eventually switched over to English and writing, and then went and got a master's in literature and poetry. So, not a sound financial decision, but yeah, I really love stories and words. You know, I don't know enough about the field of plant biology to know what sort of the range of jobs are in that field. Do you have a sense of what you want to do afterwards? Hey, make-believe. We are chatting about gardening and all sorts of stuff. Oh, cool, Axel. Cool. All right. A day of tidying up the farm. Storing my natural resources. I think I have time to go check the beach. Oh, hey, Ren. Aha. Yeah, truthfully, I usually watched Twitch streams when they were posted to YouTube by people. So I only recently joined Twitch. So far, though, it hasn't been terribly difficult. Thanks in part to help from people giving me pointers in chat. Oh, geez, Stardew Valley. I always go back to Stardew Valley. I think of it as sort of a non-prescription antidepressant. It's the kind of game for me that constantly reminds you things like, oh, it doesn't have to be perfect, and oh, there'll be more time for that, and oh, you can be creative and always try it again. Yeah, mood. Yeah, I often walk the actual countryside to help my mental health, but then there are days like this where I'm too tired to do that, so I'm going to do it virtually. And it's awfully nice to be able to chat with you guys while I'm here. Yeah, I did pretty well finding, I was going to say shells, but I guess this is coral and sea urchins. Not real clear why the mayor pays me for those, but I'm not going to ask questions. The greenhouse. How big is it? It's not very big. I think it's like 8 by 8. It's currently in boxes in the garage. It was a surprise present from my father-in-law. But it seems pretty cool. Yeah, maybe it's 8 by 10 feet. It's not very big. It's a tiny little guy that will fit on my back patio. 8 by 10, 10 by 10, something like that. Yeah, Ren, we were talking about actual gardening, sort of as I do virtual gardening here. Who and Axel and I all do gardening to some extent. Those two more than me. Oh, cool. I hadn't thought of that, Axel. Gravel? No, we didn't get heating or cooling for this at this point. Just sort of has, airflow vents that open. There may be a fan. There may be like an air circulation fan. I have to be honest with you, I haven't opened the boxes yet. I just saw a picture of the one that the guy gave me. The guy, my father-in-law. His name's Martin. He's very nice. He does things like surprise us with greenhouses. Oh, cool. Well, let me see what I'm dealing with, Who, and then I may take you up on that. It's supposed to be easy, but, we'll see. We'll see. In this phase of Stardew Valley, I can't afford to have a lot of crops going, so I have a modest amount going, and I'm working on cleaning up the farm. While my cauliflower grows. White gold, as we farmers call it. Most hanging pots have a hole in the bottom for extra water. Cool. Yeah, I've seen it done. I've just never tried it. Yeah. I mean, I have quite a few just empty plastic pots with holes in the bottom that I could try that in. Also, I love trying stuff like that, so thank you for the suggestion. I probably will do tomatoes this year. We've been making a lot of like squash soup around my house lately. Making a lot of like squash soup and then freezing it in ice cube trays and then dumping the ice cubes out into just like a big Ziploc bag or Tupperware container in the freezer. And then you can just grab the number of cubes you want based on how much soup you think you want to eat and then thaw it out. And they actually sort of taste better the longer they're in the freezer. So I'm sure there's an upper limit to that. But anyway, it occurs to me that I don't have to eat raw tomatoes. I can just make delicious tomatoes and make them into soup. Still counts. Still counts as eating my vegetables. Ooh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's quite a bit of weight to squashes if you hang them on trellises. I got to do pumpkins this year, too. Every year when October rolls around, I think, why didn't I plant pumpkins 4 months ago? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess I knew that. I mean, yeah, they're a fruit full of seeds. I don't know, how did we end up calling them vegetables in the culinary sense, even? It's very strange. Am I remembering correctly that tomatoes are in the nightshade family? Cool. Sometimes I think it's fascinating how many plants humans seem to eat out of pure stubbornness. I don't mean tomatoes, but like, I mean, have you ever watched what we go through to eat cashews? Oh, it's Sunday. I need to go to the special vendor. Yeah, humans are space orcs, yes. I've seen several threads about humans framed as terrifying space monsters. It's like, what do you do for fun? Oh, we drink poison to make us feel disoriented. What do you got today, mysterious seller? Nothing I can't live without. But it was good talking to you. I like the casual fantasy elements of this game. I mean casual, there are literally monsters. It boggles your mind that I'm on Tumblr? Why? What's weird about being on Tumblr? Collecting clay. Need that clay later. Need it to make silos so that I can gather hay to feed the chickens I will someday raise here on Stardew Valley. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh, I finished some things. Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, I had some friends that were on Tumblr. And since I write a whole bunch of content on social media, at some point it just makes sense for me to join a number of social media sites so that I can post it widely, you know? Yeah, I won't say I fully understand the culture behind Tumblr. I'll tell you something fascinating. I have about 60,000 followers across social media platforms right now. And I'll write a post, you know, a bit of poetry or just an observation or something. And I will post it on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook, and Instagram. And it is amazing to me that something will be incredibly popular, like on Tumblr, but not on Instagram, or, you know, on Instagram, but not on Twitter. It's just sort of fascinating to see how each of the sort of social media platforms have their own culture and appreciate different sorts of things. Yeah, it's strange. Why did... Oh, I had a fairy come and make some of my crops grow faster. Cool. Yeah, I wouldn't say I spend a lot of time on Tumblr. It's more that I just post there. But yeah, Tumblr can't hurt me. My Zen is too strong. Yeah, I've noticed that. Tumblr loves moss and mold. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, Tumblr is just one of my stops when I write something. I won't like get a Tumblr t-shirt or anything, don't worry. Okay, so now I need 15 seeds of something. Here we go. Unlocking the community center. The community center, of course, is where you meet the forest spirits who offer you renovation work in exchange for bundles of goods you produce. You know how forest spirits work. Jojo Mart, how dare you? Never. Death before Jojo Mart. Look at this quaint and wholesome man I'm talking to, Joja Mart. That's gonna have to be one of the rules I make in my chat. No supporting Joja Mart. Pelican Town could use the money, but there's something stopping me from selling it. I guess old-timers like me get attached to relics of the past. Ah, well. That's what he sounds like, I've decided. Joja Mart is the Walmart stand-in that's there to destroy the tiny town. Oh, wow. Have you ever gone to the rundown community center to see if forest spirits talk to you? Now AF Giant, I'm just picturing you going there and looking for forest spirits and, getting tetanus or something. Oh, there's weird forest spirity things. I wonder if Vincent and Jess did it, the two little kids in town. Buddy, I've met Vincent and Jess. They couldn't make anything that cool. Okay, yeah, wear your gardening gloves. That'll be handy even if you do meet forest spirits. Because I'm not entirely sure whether or not they bite. What, are you ill? Did you see a ghost? Oh, Jess. Red rum. I need some lunch. I eat some mysterious concoction that keeps me ageless. By the way, I have decided that Lewis is immortal because your grandpa, like 20 years ago, referred to him in a letter as an old guy. And your grandpa was an old guy. So, he's Lewis the Eternal in my head canon. Solid abandoned community center exploration advice from Oxel. Lewis the Gray. Yeah, let's just hope we don't see the mind-shattering event that turns him into Lewis the White after he fights a Balrog. Lewis fighting a Balrog is probably going to be in one of the expansions, right? It's like a 12-foot tall fiery monster that comes out of the mines, and then Lewis just valiantly strides onto the screen with his staff. You shall not pass, Joja Demon. Oh, the Antwives. How we miss them. Poor Treebeard. Well, we should have a moot and decide what to do about him. at these strange artifacts I've found. A rib and a rusty spoon. I best get to the museum post-haste, lest my fingers corrupt these powerful and ancient artifacts. Oh, that's sad. Poor Lewis. Now all he has is his immortality and his thirst for human blood. I don't know about that yet. That story will unfold, no doubt, as the game progresses. Abysmal. It's very old and he would love to study it. Do you think he's talking about the rib or the rusty spoon? Yeah, that's a good point. I guess I would need like a mullet wig, but I could do Gunther cosplay. Interesting. Yeah, Gunther has all sorts of insights like that. There isn't a whole lot of specificity on the artifact descriptions once you donate them to the museum. Here, Lewis, take my powerful spoon. The master spoon, the Vorpal spoon, and this rib. Possibly from a Balrog. Yeah, let's go. Let's see if we can take a look at those items now. First, let me get my sweet reward for breathing new life into the museum. Okay, let's take a look here. Prehistoric rib. Well, there's some extra detail. It has gouge marks, possibly from a spoon. Rusty spoon, a plain old spoon, probably 10 years old, not very interesting. Okay, Gunther, well, whose fault is it that you let me donate it to the museum and you put it on display? Don't really see how I'm responsible for this. Awful lot of sass in that description. Yeah, very interesting. A plain old spoon brought to me by a dumb farmer. Yeah, better than nothing. Do. I checked the beach very obsessively early in the game because I'm so bad at making money from farming when I start out. The shells are worth kind of a surprising amount relatively to the other things you can forge. Garbage can. That's right. I forgot that. Ooh, a trilobite. Is that worthy of your museum, Gunther? Are you going to put something snide on that? Ooh, I didn't know that. I would wear a trash can lid hat. Do. I've watched an awful lot of Sesame Street lately, and all I'm going to say is Oscar really pulls it off when he pops out of the trash can wearing the lid hat. So, Oscar the Grouch, my fashion hero, has made me feel like it's a good choice. I'm going to run over and look at the description. Even though I, Jared, probably know more about trilobites than Gunther does. Well, okay. Yep. What are your credentials, Gunther? What am I doing playing it live? Am I reciting poetry as well? Nope. I just like this game. I like this game. I enjoy watching other people stream. I find it relaxing. And I'm the sort of curious person that when I like a thing, I like to figure out how to do it. So I thought maybe I would stream some Stardew Valley. I thought it might help other people relax. I like to leave game streaming on kind of in the background, sometimes even when I'm going to sleep. In these very odd times, it has sort of helped me feel less lonely at night. I have terrible insomnia. So between podcasts and streaming games, I find them all to be kind of medicinal. I will say that trying to chat and read and play the game at the same time is a skill that I imagine that I will get better at, but there's kind of a learning curve. For example, I went to town just then to get 15 seed packets. I wandered around and did not do that. And am I going to make it before it closes? Okay. Just made it. That's the kind of exciting speedrun content you can expect. Happy to share it with you. Now, DM, like, if you want to talk about poetry, I will. If you have questions or comments to get a poetry discussion started, I mean, I'm for it. I can definitely talk about poetry while playing Stardew Valley. I did a live chat in which I talked about poetry quite a bit before this stream. So that's up. Wait a minute. Were you there? I think you were there. Yeah, no, I admit that streaming a game live kind of has nothing to do with the other things I do on the internet, but here we are. Okay, good night, Who. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I'll be here, but it's relaxing. Thanks for joining us. I will be here in the future. See you then. Good night. Oh, interesting. Poetry on demand. I like that. I don't think I could do that. Well, maybe I could. Yay! My watering proficiency has increased. Ooh, look at that. 3,000. Okay. So I always feel like the first thing to do when you get over 2,000 gold is to go buy a backpack. Oh, you missed it? Okay, well, if you go back and look at the stream, I do some poetry reading in that stream. Wow, this wizard has cool stationery. But yeah, I mean, hey, I feel like Stardew Valley is the kind of game where you could talk about nature poetry while playing Stardew Valley, and it would feel perfectly appropriate to me. Hey, if it worked as a Minecraft bribe, then we'll say it was a success. Oh, thank you. I'm working on a new poetry collection. The working title of my next poetry collection is Cemetery Flowers. So I do beekeeping, and we made up a label for the honey in case we ever want to sell it at like a farmer's market. And the brand name we made up for the honey was Cemetery Flowers. Partly because I live next to a cemetery, and cemetery flowers are what the bees are making honey from. But I also just like the ring of cemetery flowers. I think it's one of those phrases that just sounds nice. Why am I weeding the forest? Okay. It's a compulsion. All right, let's go learn about forest magic. Do. Thanks. What type of hive? I didn't build it. I bought a hive that is... It's actually made out of molded plastic, and it's insulated. And that's the hive I used last year. But I'm not going to recommend it because it didn't work. I lost my colony. I supposedly wasn't supposed to need more insulation, and I clearly did. So I think I'm probably... I'm not going to do beekeeping this year. It's too busy. But when I go back, I'm going back to the standard, 10 frame deep box hive, and I will wrap it in insulation like everybody else does. But I got quite a bit of honey. Hello, little friend. It's like, hey, Jared, why are you with this jerk that keeps trapping me in this summoning circle? They refuse to speak with you. Well, you keep summoning them from their home and trapping them in the circle that they clearly want to leave. Yeah, it was a bummer. I hate to lose bees. It's hard not to, feel kind of bummed about it. But dealing with a toddler in the house and a lot of other strange uncertainty right now, so I just don't think I can handle the maintenance of bees this year. I'm gonna stick to gardening. I'll definitely keep bees again, though. No, I haven't seen that video. I think I would do that, though. I kept bees for the last 3 years, and I only got stung once. And through the process, I wore less and less protective gear because the more I just moved slowly and confidently, and they just never had a lot of interest in stinging me. And I just love bees as creatures. I always hang up a bunch of those little homes for solitary native bees too, and love to watch when those become occupied. Yeah, I'll check out the video. I am about to be imbued with forest magic, which of course gets you plus 38 energy and makes you turn green. Uh-oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Ooh. Yep, that's what forest magic feels like. You guys know how sometimes you go out in the woods and just start eating random things, and your vision turns all green, and you see this? Yeah, what hiker hasn't had that happen? Oh, and then this pops up in your field of vision too. That explains that you've gained the power of forest magic. It's awesome. Thanks, wizard. I really like your tower. I want to live in an ivy-covered tower out in the woods. How do I make that happen? Someday, when I have a best-selling novel or something and have enough money to pay off debt and do whatever else I want, and some interviewer asks me what I'm going to do, it's like, well, I'm going to get myself an ivy-covered wizard's tower out in the forest, and I'm going to live in it. Spring onions. Huh. That would be cool. I wonder if that's true. Neil Gaiman had a dream of moving to America and having an Addams Family style house, and I know he did that. So I think your story is very much in keeping with what I know about him. Seems like a good dude, by all accounts. I read the Sandman series of comics early in my writing development, but I didn't read his other works until more recently. Yeah, I liked Neverwhere. Kind of falls in line with what I'm interested in. Weirdness hiding in plain sight. You know, like my podcast. Let me go drop some resources. Yeah, well, welcome. I think you're going to be able to keep up just fine. Because it's Stardew Valley. Yeah, Stardew Valley is a contemplative, slow, peaceful kind of game, which is exactly the kind of vibe I sort of wanted to bring here. I do think it's interesting. I don't know if you guys have watched speedruns at all, but I looked up Stardew Valley speedruns on YouTube, and there are some. People are trying to get that going as a category of speedrun. I feel like this game is kind of designed to get you to slow down, though, so I'm sort of curious to know what a Stardew Valley speedrun would look like. I mean, I guess I can know that. I will watch them. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I plan to do more of those just chatting videos. That I don't know, that feels nice. I enjoy doing that. Yes. What kind of soup did you make? We've been into soup making here lately. Let me go to the mines and get my sword while we're chatting. Oh, interesting. It's interesting. I would watch an Animal Crossing speedrun. I would say that's sort of against the spirit of what games like that is, but I mean, you know, the spirit of Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley to me is really play it however you want, however you find it fun, whatever makes you feel good. So, hey, if you want to aim for maximum efficiency and income, do it. These games are pleasant environments and kind of a blank canvas to let you find ways to feel sort of accomplished and tell a story to yourself, kind of a story of your own making. So, good for them. I mean, I have to admit, when I was playing Animal Crossing, I had a serious investment in paying off the loan in a single day every time. But that had less to do with how, you know, efficient I was and more how I just couldn't stop playing Animal Crossing every day. The Filipino sour soup. Okay, that sounds amazing. Huh. That's awesome. Well, geez, you're going to have to tell me how that turned out sometime. We just made a bunch of squash soup around here. And I always like to make too much soup and then pour it into plastic ice cube trays and freeze it. And then pour out the soup cubes into like a big Ziploc bag. And then just, you know, take handfuls of the cubes out, however much I want, and pour it or stick it in a pan and reheat it. Because, yeah, I love making soup. Filipino sour soup. Awesome. Let's talk about Marlin. Was he just lurking in this mine? I mean, he runs an adventure guild, which is cool, but there only seem to be 2 people in his guild, and it's located in a town with like 28 people. So, Marlin's not a young guy. How long has he been waiting next to this hole, hoping that anyone would come in so he could give him a rusty sword? All right, Marlin. I'll join your guild. I love that he's like, oh, you'll have to prove yourself to join the guild. It's like, okay, buddy. Let's be honest here. I think you need me a little more than I need you, Marlin. Let's see. I need to have my pickaxe next to my sword. Ooh, this is going to be a little rough. I usually play this on the Switch, and I am not so good at this yet. But again, Stardew Valley. It's not supposed to be perfect. Cool. I'm not going to be able to play on this too much later tonight, but can I just say how much I appreciate you guys being here and how playing Stardew Valley while we chat about soup is really me living my best life, I feel like. This is the best. And you guys are wonderful. It's best in this game not to think about the mines too much, because then you run into questions like, who left these crates down here? What were they doing? It doesn't seem like this was an actual mining operation. Again, best not to think about it. There's a vertical cave in Ohio. I live in Ohio. Huh. Giant, are you in Ohio? Huh, cool. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty solid theory of Stardew Valley. Either that or there's like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer Hellmouth situation going on. And the more you play this game, I mean, you find other dungeons too. There are a lot of monsters really close by. Oh, let's just save this stuff. I guess I will sell that and take the other 2 gems to the museum. Yeah. Actually, let's sell the gems for now. We need the cash more than we need Gunter's opinion. Gunther? All right. Another day in Stardew Valley. I really like this little cottage. Although it doesn't have a bathroom, which sometimes troubles me. Cool. Day 10. Ooh, a rainy day. Rainy days are the best early in this game. Means I don't have to spend half of my energy watering. Ooh, cookies. Mail cookies. Oh, okay, my friends. It is 11 o'clock, and I have to wake up early. I think we're going to have to call it a night. But, boy, I could do this forever. Okay. Okay, Giant. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can try to Google it, too. I am curious. Is it a series of ladders? I've been to Mammoth Cave and Kentucky, and I've been to a couple cave systems here in Ohio, but not like that. That sounds really cool. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. I will probably, well, I will. I will be on here streaming Stardew Valley again tomorrow evening, probably around 8 o'clock, maybe a little later. So hopefully I'll see you then. I said that like it was a sign off, but the truth is I have to take a minute and remember how to stop streaming. I will get better at this as we go. Okay. Good night, friends. Have a good one.